What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. The inevitable has happened, and of course, I called it back when Mark Carney pulled his digital service tax. That essentially, when you work with business people, when you talk about negotiations, as soon as you show your cards at the table, as soon as you tell them what you're holding, those who have leverage over you can use it to the best of their ability to get whatever they want. Now, ultimately, Donald Trump, if you've been living under a rock and haven't heard yet, coming forth with more sweeping tariffs effective August 1st, he naturally should. I think he's doing the right thing because I think, honestly, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I think Canadians kind of deserve it at this point for electing Mark Carney. The ones who elected Mark Carney and voted him in deserve it. In fact, do you guys remember this?
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah. No, I'm really excited about Carney. I think he's handling this situation with the tariff war with Trump extremely well.
He knows his financial information. He knows how to handle the economy. And I think he's the best to deal with Trump.
I think of this election type deal, and I think of Mark Carney, I think of Pierre Poilievre, whenever like that. I'm really nervous that we're going to get into that, like, sort of, the Trumpisms and things like that.
Well, I'm a Brookfield shareholder, so I have to say I'm interested in profits, yeah.
Really? Now, those are the people that I'm talking about that deserve for these tariffs to go up, to really understand the brunt of what they actually voted in, the whole elbows up crowd, the Team Canada crowd. The reason I say it's deserving is because I feel like more of this has to happen in order for people to wake up, in order for people to say, this can't happen anymore. We got to be a little bit more careful about who we vote to run our country. Don't forget, Mark Carney is always wanting to take holidays.
But the other elements are coming together, need to fully come together. We'll work hard. Maybe not this afternoon, to be honest. We're not going to work. I'll be honest. Can I take the afternoon off after my remarks?
I don't get to decide that.
Not a great, well, the Canadians get to decide.
What the fuck? Now, just as he states there, he's on holiday. He needs a day off. What Mark Carney has to realize is that Canada doesn't run on banking hours. Canada, being the Prime Minister of Canada, is a 24/7 job. You need to represent the country. You need to think about what's best for the country, and you need to act within accordance to what's best for the country at all times. You don't get vacations. You don't get time off. If something happens, you got to go to the desk. You got to work. What's funny is now Donald Trump has come back, as I said, with the threat of more tariffs, and he knows he can, because Mark Carney has shown him, hey, we'll give you whatever you want. Now, what he's asking for here is obviously a no-go. There really is no way for Mark Carney to essentially fulfill Donald Trump's requests. I know people are sick of me talking about Alberta and Alberta independence. I get it all the time. But the fact of the matter is, folks, this is only going to push Albertans to move further away. It's going to push Saskatchewan to move further away. It's going to push the entire West to say, we're not really happy with what's going on here. We need away from this because it's affecting us. It's affecting our jobs. Clear incompetency within the Canadian government. Everybody's saying, oh, he was the best guy to handle Donald Trump. How are they feeling now? Let's take a look at Donald Trump's letter, shall we? I was going to do this in the Donald voice. I was going to say, Prime Minister Mark Carney, it is a great honor for me to send you this letter, that it demonstrates the strength and commitment of our trading relationship, and the fact that the United States of America has agreed to continue working with Canada, despite Canada having financially retaliated against the United States. I'm not going to do the whole thing as Donald Trump. Don't worry, folks. As you will recall, the United States imposed tariffs on Canada to deal with the nation's substance crisis, which is caused in part by Canada's failure to stop those substances from pouring into our country. Please forgive me, YouTube censors videos that have these words in them. Instead of working with the United States, Canada retaliated with its own tariffs. Starting August 1st, 2025, we will charge Canada a tariff of 35% on Canadian products sent into the United States, separate from all sectoral tariffs. Goods transshipped to evade the higher tariff will be subject to a higher tariff. As you are aware, there will be no tariff if Canada or companies within your country decide to build or manufacture product within the United States, and, in fact, we will do everything possible to get approvals quickly, professionally, and routinely. In other words, in a matter of weeks. So Trump is essentially saying, as it goes on here, you're going to get rid of all those substances pouring into your country. If you've ever seen documentaries on Vancouver, on what it's doing to its people, when you look at Hastings, it's absolutely unreal that we have allowed this to pour into our country. It's damaging our citizens. You hear about the RCMP this week talking about being socially unacceptable, we'll say, to use a better term. They're not doing their job to get rid of these substances. They don't want to address the issues. They'd rather virtue signal and talk about bodily autonomy than do their jobs. And of course, Mark Carney isn't speaking with the RCMP. Mark Carney isn't saying, we want to talk about seizing these products off of our streets rather than, woke ideologies. I know that he technically can't influence the RCMP, but we all know that they do. I'm just going to throw that in there. Here's where Trump comes back. If for any reason you decide to raise your tariffs, then whatever the number you choose to raise them by will be added to the 35% that we charge. This is, again, where Mark Carney dropped the ball by we'll just hand over the Digital Service Act. Do you guys remember on Canada Day, he said that was always part of the plan, right? Haha, we don't want to admit defeat. What are we going to do now? What are all the elbows up Team Canada guys going to do? In fact, they should call Mike Myers and ask him, hey, Mike, you were so hyped up on elbows up. What do we do here with Donald Trump? Watch the answer you get. Also, I must mention that the flow of those substances is hardly the only challenge we have with Canada, which has many tariff and non-tariff policies and trade barriers which cause unsustainable trade deficits against the United States. Canada charges extraordinary tariffs to our dairy farmers, again, thanks to Quebec, up to 400%, and that is even assuming our dairy farmers even have access to sell their products to the people of Canada. The trade deficit is a major threat to our economy and indeed our national security. If Canada works with me to stop the flow of those substances, we will perhaps consider an adjustment to this letter. These tariffs may be modified upward or downward depending on our relationship with your country. You will never be disappointed with the United States of America. Thank you for your attention on this matter. With best wishes, I am sincerely Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Okay. Yeah. Mark Carney's getting what he deserves. And whether you like it or not, folks, I know there are people going to be in the comments saying, Fringe, you're saying that we deserve this, that Canadians deserve this. No, the people who voted in Mark Carney, the elbows up crowd that said, oh, I want my Brookfield stock options to go up. Oh, I think he's the best guy to handle Trump. I think he's doing it well. Those are the people that deserve for this to happen. Those are the people that deserve to lose their jobs. Those are the people that deserve to lose everything they have, to realize that when you vote on a motion, when you vote because a guy in the United States is holding office and not on policy, this is the end result. This is what you get for being stupid. You need to vote on policy, not on what the guy looks like, not on who you like or don't like in a popularity contest, not about who looks better in a suit, whatever reasons you want to have. It should always, always, always be about policy. A banker who bankrupted England, who installed his WEF policies across the UK, has no business running Canada, especially during our debates when he says, guys, I've only been here for a little bit, and then shows up on Canada and say, God, can I just get a day off? This guy has no rights running our country. I sincerely hope we end up back at the election polls very soon. I know it's not going to happen. It's a matter of finances. Everybody's just bled their government coffers dry running an election. Pierre went balls to the wall, and now the Conservatives are trying to even get some of that money back. It's going to be a while. So buckle up, because Mark Carney, we have seen, is going to put his elbows down and give Donald Trump whatever he likes. These tariffs are going to get worse, folks. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. That's just the reality. Now, do I blame Donald Trump for doing this? Absolutely not. When you look at, and the dairy cartels are the one thing that I've always mentioned. If anybody wants to argue, well, we don't have any tariffs against Donald Trump. We don't push the United States. Look at the dairy. Look at Quebec and their corrupt dairy cartels and tell me that the U.S. has no reason to be upset or angry or feel like they've been taken advantage of. It's no different than provinces, sorry to say, like Alberta, who are told, you're not allowed to get your products to market. You're not allowed to be successful. We're going to shut it down because we're corrupt. We don't want to function within a decent society. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think these tariffs are going to happen, or do you think the day they get installed, as always, by pattern, Mark Carney is going to cave? Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure to hit that button, folks. I know a lot of people are going to be mad about the comments I made about Canadians deserving Donald Trump's tariffs, okay? But let's be honest. If we're going to look at it from a realistic standpoint, folks, I think that crowd needs a wake-up call. They definitely need something bad to happen to them, their portfolios, before things get better. Join me tonight here on the channel for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show, where I'll be joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we go back and forth with everything that happened this week in Canadian politics, everything we know that's coming up in the week ahead, as well as your Q&A inside those streams. I want to remind everybody, all merchandise purchases, all super chats, all sponsorship money that's come into the channel this month will be donated to the victims of the Texas floods at the end of the month. And I will match all of those super chats, all of those donations up to $5,000, making it a maximum donation of $10,000. So join me in the live stream tonight. Let's see how much money we can raise for the flood victims. It all starts at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.